Hello, Bizarre Story friends. You've tuned into the Bizarre AF, where we talk about the strange, the absurd, the unknown, and things that are bizarre as fuck. I'm Kevin. I'm going to be your host for today's episode, and as always, we ask that you keep an open mind, keep a skeptical ear, but keep listening to those facts as we take you on our newest journey. Deep fakes. AI for good or AI for evil? Well, hello, my Alesha little darling. How are you doing today, girl?
Oh, I'm doing so good.
We're looking so futuristic
We
today.
are. I'm a Trekkie today.
Yes, nice. Are you?
Yes.
Have you beamed down from the Enterprise?
I would hope so. Yeah, I'm just here on like an away mission.
An away mission.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Good. Yes, thank you for joining me on your away mission today.
Thank you. You look great. It's kind of like
Thanks.
Tron-esque,
Yeah,
or
what's the Indiana Jones guy? What's his name?
I don't know.
What's the futuristic movie that he did? Come on, people.
Oh, Running Man.
No.
I don't
Blade
know.
Runner.
Blade Runner. That's it. Yeah.
It's Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
Pris. I look like Pris. Did you ever see that movie?
Like years ago. I don't remember any of it.
Pris is the one that had the black stripe like that, and she was all like with the white hair, and she was all like.
You're giving me like the makeup's kind of giving me like dystopian, like which is,
Yeah.
that's the thing. What is that movie with Charlize Theron and
Oh my God.
Mad Max?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I love her so much.
So good.
Well, thanks for joining here. Cheers.
Thanks. Oh, cheers to a dystopian future.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Why not?
Well, hopefully not. I believe in Star Trek and
Yeah. No, to a Star Trekian computer-assisted future.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Humanistic, like humanism, like we believe the best in people.
Yeah. Total Star Trek.
Yeah.
Let's not go any further than that.
Okay.
Because then it could get scary, which is what we're going to talk about today, actually.
Right.
So, Alesha, have you ever heard of deep fakes?
I have. I've heard of deep fakes. I thought that weren't they being used like to pretend like, presidents were saying things, like Obama was saying things that he never said, and like, yeah, I recall all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So have you ever seen them?
Yes. Yeah, I've also seen them with Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise doing like those magic tricks and stuff.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. That's it.
They first did not look good. Like you're like, okay, it was kind of choppy.
You're like, yeah.
But now I feel like I can hardly tell the difference.
Yeah, they're getting so good. Ugh. And that's kind of the scary part.
Oh no, Kevin. Am I going to be able to sleep tonight?
Well, I might disturb you at the very end.
Oh, fuck. Okay, great. Great. Hopefully there's Ricard in our future.
So, yeah, I'm going to talk about all this stuff. It's going to be pretty unbelievable. And at the end, I think I might blow your mind.
In a good way.
It's going to blow your mind.
Oh, fuck. Okay. So
just hang on.
like sit back. Make sure your seatbelts are nice and fastened.
Grab one of these.
have a dystopian drink with us.
Yeah.
Tea, hydration, whatever the fuck it is.
Get ready.
This is not hydration.
Get ready for a ride.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh.
Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do, we'll call it segment 1, and it's gonna be about what are deep fakes. What really are they?
Okay.
So deep fakes are artificial media that's created using machine learning techniques such as things they call deep neural networks.
Okay, yeah.
And what they do is they take the form of manipulated images or video or audio that appear to be real but are in fact purely synthetic. Okay. Now, deepfakes are created by training algorithms with very large amounts of data to learn the characteristics and the patterns of a particular individual's voice, face, and mannerisms.
So it's just studying videos of that person. For instance, Tom Cruise, he has all of those movies and interviews and...
Precisely. Yeah, it's just a machine watching and watching that just on repeat. And just, it's like people that do impressions and they just watch them. And sometimes they're just so good because they just watched and studied them for so long. But these are computers that can be perfect.
Oh my God, Kevin.
So once the algorithm has learned these patterns, it can then generate new content that mimics the individual's appearance, speech, and behavior. Hence what you were just talking about with the Tom Cruise videos. Now, the term deep fake is actually a combination of two terms, deep learning and fake. It's reflecting the fact that these technologies rely on complex algorithms to generate these convincing simulations of reality. Now, deepfakes have been used for a variety of purposes, including fake news, all kinds of propaganda, revenge porn.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, that's awful.
And they can be very difficult to detect because just by nature of what they are designed to look and sound realistic.
Right.
Now, the creation and use of deepfakes, they raise a tremendous number of ethical and legal concerns.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Again, because they can be used to manipulate public opinion. They can be used to defame people and individuals or, like we said, spread disinformation. Now, as a result, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And represent people who it's not them, right? Like, so
exactly
like copyrighted material,
right?
Like, can you copyright yourself? Like, okay, like let's say, oh God, you know what I just thought about?
What?
We're doing these podcasts. And we have cameras on us. People could make deep fakes on us just based on our...
Without question.
Oh my God.
Someone could create a whole podcast with the two of us.
Saying shit that we didn't actually say.
That's very plausible. Like, in fact, I could go today and probably do that.
Really? Well, Kevin, you are like tech savvy, so like.
But I'm just saying that's how available it is. Like I wouldn't have to like dig to figure out how to do that. I could just go do a couple searches and figure out how to do this.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. This is the problem.
What is truth? What is not?
This is the problem. Yes, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
So many governments, as a result of all of this, and high-tech companies are investing in a lot of research to develop methods to detect and to prevent the spread of deepfakes, because you can, as based on all of the things I've just said, it could be very, very problematic.
Right, because if you have like a world leader or something who's like,
We've just declared nuclear war on the United States.
Right now, we have all of our warheads pointing directly to Canada. Like, who would ever want to fuck with Canada? Like
Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
We're gonna blow up Sweden.
But you could say that, and then the whole world would go into
all
a tizzy.
kinds of panic.
Fuck. So it would be in their best interest to like
figure it out.
Yeah. How can we determine whether or not this is a deep fake?
Yes.
Fuck.
And then, not to throw gas on the fire, but then to determine, how do you determine the people that are saying it's fake when it's not fake?
Right. Because they could be on video, or
I didn't say that. You just made that. I wouldn't have done that. I didn't take my pants down for that prostitute.
Oh yeah. Everything could be a deep fake.
Anything.
I mean, that's a convenient excuse.
Audio, video, pictures.
Shit. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what are the types of defects? I just said images, videos, pictures.
Yeah.
So in 2019.
Sounds,
yes. So in 2019, a deep fake video of former President Barack Obama was created. Do you remember this?
That's the first one that came into my mind.
Where he appeared to give a speech that he never, ever gave. And the video was created by training an algorithm on existing footage of Obama and then manipulating it to look like he was saying something that he never said. That's dangerous, scary.
Yeah.
So the video was created as a demonstration of the potential dangers of deep fakes. It was to prove a point.
Fuck.
And showed just how easy someone could create that video and spread up false information on a dime. Ugh. The video went quickly viral.
Yeah.
Sparked lots of discussions about deep fakes on politics and society. It was cray-cray, and we're going to watch it.
We're going to watch it? Okay, great. Because I would like to see it again.
Here we go.
Okay.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, I don't know, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total and complete dipshit.
Well, I mean, it's true.
Now, you see, I would never say these things, at least not in a public address, but someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. That's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward in the age of information is going to be the difference between whether we survive or whether we become some kind of fucked up dystopia. Thank you. And stay woke, bitches.
So, if you're watching on video, did you notice how the Obama version, the mannerisms were completely different?
Yes.
Than what Jordan was doing.
Yeah.
Because the computer was generating those movements based on what he was saying and based on the movements that Obama makes when he talks.
You know what?
The mouth looked a little, to me, I could see a little something off on the mouth.
Yes. That's what I wrote down. Mouth. And it was kind of fuzzy. Like the mouth kind of looked like it was like moved up a little bit more. And it wasn't right.
Exact.
And like the dimensions of Obama's face.
Yes.
But I when I was listening to it, I thought this kind of sounds like Obama, but it really doesn't sound like Obama.
Right.
Which.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
Two things. So in your first point on the visuals.
Yeah.
From the time that was made until today, the technology has improved 20 times.
What year was that again?
19, I believe. 19.
2019.
So in 4 years, it has drastically gotten better.
God damn.
Secondly, he just is an impersonator, so
right.
They did his voice. But now they have synthetic generators that will do it. You don't have to actually pretend to be them. So then you really do get the tones. I'm so mad at myself. I had went to a website and I had it train my voice. And I had it speaking things on my behalf. And I couldn't find that link anymore, so I didn't have that particular clip. But it sounded just like me.
Even your intonations.
In my intonations, the way I said the words.
You know what's crazy about that? They also now have filters. Like current filters, like on TikTok, where someone could be narrating things. And it's almost like an effect just on the sound, but it sounds like a totally different person. Like maybe it would sound like your voice or like
see?
And that's clearly trained on someone else's voice.
Yes.
What the fuck? Okay, also, can we just talk about how awesome Jordan Peele is? Because he's not a friend of the pod, but I would love for him to be a friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Because he is a fellow he's weirdo enthusiast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird
he loves
shit.
the crazy shit, right?
Yeah. Stay woke. Honestly, still stay vigilant on false information.
Yes.
What's crazy is when that video came out, it went insane.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh my God, what else can we make Obama say? Like, that's crazy.
Yes.
And now we look at it and we're like, okay, our eyes are kind of trained to it.
Yes.
So we kind of can see that there are some
like I said, the
inconsistencies.
technology is just getting way, way better.
Yeah. Oh my God, it makes me so nervous. Great.
It does.
Great.
So photos are probably the easiest to fake because we've actually been doing that for a very long time. Hello, Photoshop.
Yeah, Facetune, name anything. Even back in the day, like 1940s, they used to put like Vaseline and like they would even go into the actual negatives and like
they can
scrape things
manipulate it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always been a thing. Today, the thing about those filters or like the filters and things like that, oftentimes you can't tell the difference. Like there are some accounts that I follow that show how people have edited their bodies or their faces. Like even people like Naomi Campbell, okay? Who's a supermodel, beautiful, like ridiculous.
Trying to make everything perfect.
And she's like changing her like neck to be longer or like her face to be thinner.
Yes.
Or like, you know, wrinkles to go away. And I can't see I didn't know, but there's one called Celeb Face. I don't know if you've seen that one, but they'll show like the picture the original picture and then the picture that the person posted and show like, it'll show the original picture or no, first it'll show the picture that the person posted. Like, I don't know, Kylie Jenner or something. Sure. Then the next picture will be the original picture. Then they'll show in a video clip the edits that were made. So it looks like
to transform it.
Yeah, to transform it. And you see, you're like,
wow,
whoa, they don't even look like the same person.
Right.
Like people are almost making themselves look like fucking like aliens or like some kind of weird false representation of who they are as a person.
Well, even those very, very, very basic, simple ones like that do makeup.
Yes.
Look so real.
Yeah, the makeup filters. Yes.
I would have bet $1 million that you were wearing that makeup.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
crazy. There's one right now on TikTok that like everyone's using, and they, you know, the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Oh, you don't really like musicals. That's right. But there's a song where this guy's saying, "You are deformed," and then Quasimodo's like, "I am deformed." So people are taking the filter off of them. So the person who's saying, "I am deformed,"
can see their original.
And then you're like Quasimodo, like your actual picture, like who you are.
Yeah.
And it's like it does look deformed. It's like this weird, like false representation of like you on your best day with like a shitload of fucking plastic surgery and stuff like fillers and stuff and makeup professionally done.
Yeah.
But you can't even tell that they're even wearing filters anymore.
Are we gonna know what's real anymore?
That's what I'm wondering is even years ago, Bobby Brown, you know, not Bobby Brown the singer, but Bobby Brown the makeup artist.
Yes.
So she caught a lot of shit because she was using a filter on her videos to make her look younger and to make her look more radiant.
That's
and not disclosing
marketing. That's misleading because you're doing a makeup brand.
Yes.
Right. And you're saying, look how beautiful I am, when in fact you're doing technological editing. That's not right.
It's false representation of what
false representation.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which is interesting. I don't think we will be able to tell.
I don't either. So with AI as software, we don't need Photoshop anymore. You have to be good at Photoshop. Like Photoshop is a chore.
It's an art.
Like you need to know it's an art. Mm-hmm. You have to know what you're doing. But with AI, you just kind of go click like you did. Oh, I want to look pretty. Push the button. Boop. Oh, look, I'm pretty. I mean, it's at your fingertips, literally. So I took a photo of myself and a photo of Alesha, and I put it in a software called Reface. And I asked it to put us on the cover of a Playboy. And in about 20 seconds, poof, we were on Playboy. It's one of my favorite photos of all time. And there it is.
Look at my mouth. Okay, girl.
Yeah, you're sexy with that little pouty mouth and your
blonde hair,
and
straight.
firm bosoms.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. That girl doesn't need to wear a bra.
No.
Look at you. Like, yes.
With my 80s Farrah hair.
Yeah. You may have like a little bit of a mustache.
I
going
do
on.
have a mustache happening. So I'm a little like, what is it? Non-transforming or non-gender.
What is that?
What is that? Yeah. You know, I'm male and female.
Androgynous.
And both. Very androgynous picture. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't it hot?
That is so funny. I can see my eyes for sure. And I guess I can see my nose.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of like my mouth. I think my mouth.
Your mouth is a little different. Yeah. It's just a little more pouty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely can see. It's definitely your eyes.
It's definitely my eyes, and definitely like that's definitely you. That's fucking hilarious. Playmate sisters.
That was in 10 seconds, boo.
So you didn't even say like which one?
No.
You just said take these two pictures
And put us on a Playboy cover.
Oh my God, dude, that is some crazy shit.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that's like 20 seconds, cursory glance.
Yes.
I am sure that you can find
something that you spend money on that's like, you know,
yes,
like intense and like it takes processing. Like, can you imagine?
No, I can't because that's fucking
a free
freaky.
20-second thing. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. That is my point. So the point, yeah, I guess that was my point of that picture is how simple, easy, and accessible it is. And to your point, how you can imagine there is stuff that exists that takes way more processing power, would cost, you know, take some time and money to make. And so you can imagine how realistic, so realistic that you couldn't tell the difference. Like you literally just posed for Playboy, didn't you?
Right. What if you're getting a new job or something?
Exactly.
And these these pictures are posted of you, like you were saying, revenge porn and stuff. It's like,
yeah, what if someone takes that picture I just put online, they take a snapshot of it, publish it online, and go, Kevin was doing fucking Playboy as a trans.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make any, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's, like I said, good and evil.
Yeah.
Good and evil. I think it's good because I think it's hot.
So long as you look hot, great. Like nobody's making a filter to make you look uglier than
exactly.
You are. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, we're fine with the Playboy picture.
Yes.
Like, just don't superimpose our faces on a manatee or something.
Exactly. So in 2021, that audio deepfake of Tom Cruise that you were talking about,
yes,
that was created by a company called Respeecher. And in the audio clip, a person impersonating Tom was recorded saying things that he never said. And the clip was created by analyzing existing recordings of Tom Cruise. Yeah. And then it synthesized brand new words and phrases using these machine learning algorithms.
What the fuck?
Now, the deepfake audio clip was so convincing that it fooled so many people into thinking Tom was actually doing it. I mean, it took a hot minute for people to really think that it wasn't him being cray-cray.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because he has been cray-cray.
Well, that's just it too.
Sorry, Tom, but like...
It was kind of plausible.
extreme personality, which is great. We love those.
Yeah, right.
Very interesting.
Yes.
But not out of the world, out of this.
So that is, you know, the clip that really started raising concerns too about the potential measures of deepfake audio technology. Because that's even worse. Because you can't see the mouth moving weird or whatever.
It could just be some kind of like audio clip released, which does happen. And it's happened on many occasions. Mel Gibson, remember when he came out like with those like voicemails and stuff?
Yes. And you're like, damn.
You're like,
Mel.
you're like, wait a second. You're a racist, homophobic, like piece of shit. Cool. And it cost him his entire career.
It did.
What if
it did? What if that was fake? I mean, clearly I don't think it was.
No, I don't think it was.
But what if it was?
But what if it was? Or what if somebody has kind of some kind of a vendetta against you?
Well, exactly.
And can use, I don't know, podcast clips to make you say,
ruin your career, ruin your life.
Yeah. How do you protect that?
This is what people need. This is what governments, and we're going to talk about it in a second, but it's something that needs to be figured out.
Yeah.
So, it's worth notating that while the audio deepfakes are less common than the video deepfakes, they are still a growing concern, and researchers are working on developing new methods to detect and prevent the spread of audio deepfakes as well. That's a thing happening. So I wanted to give this a try.
Oh, God.
So I randomly picked a site that claims to be able to do this activity, and it's called fakeyou.com.
Oh, no.
And it appears that these voices are built by community members, like people that are really geeked out on this. And they actually develop these voices through training and such. And then they make them public for people to be able to use.
Yeah.
Okay. So some are good. Some are not.
Okay.
And it just depends on the amount of time that they or the AI that they're using put into it. And it takes time for these systems to learn. But also as an interesting fact, most, if not all, the voices produced by this website are actually a woman by the name of Linda Johnson with some layers on top of it. Now, there's this thing called a Linda Johnson speech data set that is available free on GitHub.
What?
And apparently her voice is the root source of a lot of these deepfakes. And maybe there's just something about her voice that allows it to be this kind of root source somehow. And then with layers and tones and stuff, they can build just about anything. And I guess she's a kind of a professional voiceover person. We're going to take a little listen to a sample of her voice.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
Many animals of even complex structure which live parasitically within others are wholly devoid of an alimentary cavity.
So that's Linda Johnson, and that's a sample. That's a sample of her data set.
Okay.
And so people, I guess, somehow take that. I don't claim to understand any of this. And generate these voices. Now, my first attempt was with a voice we all know, a Mr. Tom Cruise.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, and now the system marked its voice as voice sounds meh.
Meh.
That's literally what it said. Voice sounds meh.
Maybe they're not fans.
Yeah, right. So I asked it to say, "Hi, this is Tom. One of the things I love more than Scientology is the bizarre AF."
Shut up. Oh my God.
This is what it sounds like.
Hey, this is Tom. The one thing I love more than Scientology is the bizarre.
Now,
Bizarre.
Burzov and Sintj.
Yeah.
So first of all, it didn't pronounce words right. You could hear the digital tone of it.
Yes.
But you could hear
tinny.
Tom's Cruise tone in that.
Yeah. Like at first I was like, oh, I don't know about
Sounds
this.
like a tin can.
Yeah. It sounded like a tin can. But then like as I was listening, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I can actually hear
him.
it. Yeah.
So let's listen one more time.
Hey, this is Tom. The one thing I love more than Scientology is the bizarre.
So you can hear it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why they went sound is meh.
Yeah. Not as great.
So that one needs some work. So next, I tried Barack and see if the guy that did the Barack tone was any better.
Yes.
Okay. And I had him say, "Hi, this is Barack. Listen to the bizarre AF because crazy shit is good shit." Okay. And this is Barack.
Fellow citizens of the United States. This is Bart. Listen to the bizarre F because crazy shit is good shit.
I mean, it's getting better.
Getting better.
Yeah.
Still
Still kind of tinny.
Still the tinny. Little, not saying AF. He's going if.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even say his name. Burke.
Right. He couldn't even say Brock correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that obviously needed some work. Okay. Couldn't stop. Was it getting addicted?
Right. I could only see it. You're like, let's fucking try this shit.
So then I'm like, I found Snoop Dogg.
Oh my God, I love Snoop.
Snoopy. This one I don't even need to tell you what he says. Check this out.
Don't fizzle with the shizzle. Listen to the bizarre F.
That's pretty good.
Sounding good.
Yeah.
Still can't say AF.
Yes. It can't.
Still could hear some synthesis,
Yes.
some 10.
Yeah, the 10.
Way better.
Way better. Best so far.
Best so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm like, I need to find a good one. And then I found Bart Simpson. Gotta do some Bart.
Yeah, Bart, because Dostradamus. Like, he belongs in our fucking bizarre AF world.
Right. Now, he's okay, but you're gonna hear Bart.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Here we go, Bart. Give it to us.
Cowbunded dude, the Bizaroff is my sister Alyssa's favorite podcast. She's a brilliant stantist.
Scantist.
Scantist?
Supposed to say scientist.
Ah.
Yeah, so still having pronunciation problems.
Yes.
Cowbunded dude, the Bizaroff is my sister Alyssa's favorite podcast. She's a brilliant stantist.
But like, even like, it's sounding like the intonations are sounding better.
Yeah.
And although it still sounds tinny, it's way better.
Yes, it's way better. Way better. And remember, keep in mind, this is free.
All free options.
All free. That you just put yourself into a queue, it'll generate it, and then it says, I'm done. So again, keep that in mind when we're doing that. And look who just walked in the studio. So Gwyneth Paltrow just walked into the studio. And for those that are on video, she's off mic. You can't see her. She's kind of right over here. But the producers in my ear just told me she was in the lot, and she just wanted to say hi. Hey, Gwyneth, how you doing today? How's it going? Wait, where are you there?
Thanks for the introduction, Kevin.
Oh, sure.
As you said, I'm Gwyneth, and I'm so happy to be here. I've listened to all of your podcasts, and you guys are great. Kevin, you are the hottest guy I have ever seen.
Well, thanks.
And Alesha, love your Playboy photo, and I'd love for you to do a Goop photo shoot for our next cover.
How nice.
I would love to, Gwyneth.
You're so sweet. You got it. Okay, no problem. Thanks for
Already?
stopping by. She's
Can you
busy.
leave us a candle or something?
Yeah.
Smells like your...
Or the vag egg. I just wanted to see what it looks like. Thanks. Okay, great.
That one was really good.
Pretty good. That was getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, there's just all kinds of options here.
You know what? Another thing I was just thinking about. It's also the pacing.
It is the pacing to make it sound, because you don't want to talk like this because that's not normal.
Right. You automatically take pauses, or you breathe,
inflections.
Or
when I say Alesha, I might say Alesha, or hey Alesha. Yeah, the
totally.
tones. Yeah,
the tones will change, and like the cadence of your conversation's going to change, or the words that you're saying.
Yeah,
that I do see that, but
fuck,
that Gwyneth one was
pretty good.
Best.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
So let's talk about how deepfakes are created, kind of explain the technology. So the technology behind deepfakes is based on, I think kind of mentioned earlier, learning algorithms, which are a type of artificial intelligence that can learn and recognize and analyze complex patterns in data. And while it may be hard to reconcile in your mind, video, imagery, and audio are nothing but patterns.
Right. Yeah.
Deepfakes use a type of deep learning algorithm called generative adversarial network, or GAIN. Now you go, what the fuck is GAIN?
Yeah, I don't like the adversarial part of it.
It consists of, this is why it's adversarial.
Okay.
GAINs consist of two neural networks. One is a generator network. The other is a discriminator network. Now, the generator network is trained on a large data set of images or videos or sounds, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so then it learns how to create those new images or the videos that are similar to the original data set that it was given.
Sure.
The discriminator network, on the other hand, it's trained to differentiate between real images and videos and those that are created by the generator network.
Okay.
And this is somehow works in conjunction. The discriminator works to help the generator because it knows the difference between real and fake.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting. And so as the generator network creates new images or videos, the discriminator network evaluates them and then provides feedback to the generator. So it's helping the buddy
talking.
out.
Yeah, it's talking to each other. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So this feedback helps the generator network to refine its output and create more realistic images and videos over time. The generator becomes better and better at creating all of those things. And then it becomes more difficult for the discriminator network to differentiate the two.
Okay, so when it stops having notes or when it has less notes, it's like, okay, it doesn't have to work on this anymore.
It knows it's pretty good.
That's fucking crazy.
Crazy. It's learning.
Yeah. Yeah, these systems, these algorithms are learning. Uh-huh. Oh my God. This is really scary.
Now, to create a deepfake, the generator network is trained on a specific individual's voice, face, mannerisms, and then using this very large data set of images and videos of that person. And then once the generator network has learned these patterns, it can then generate new images or videos that mimic the appearance, the speech, and the behavior. And that's how you get those things like we saw for Barack. Now, while the technology behind deepfakes is rapidly advancing, there are still limitations for what it can do. So for example, it can be difficult to create realistic deepfakes with individuals whose features and movements are very distinct and unique.
Okay. Okay.
And while deepfakes can be much more convincing with like short little clips like Tom Cruise going, "Hey girl," versus, a 3-minute monologue.
Right.
They can... because then they start to can appear unnatural or unrealistic, even short ones than longer versions. But the short ones are just obviously way easier.
Of course, because you have less
so
information.
Much time to judge.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a president going, "I've just launched nuclear bombs," is going to be way more convincing than him talking for an hour, right?
Yeah, I've just not launched nuclear bombs and blah 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 blah. Okay, so I have another question in regards to so those voices that we were listening to, or just a thought behind that.
Yeah.
So this lady, what was her name again?
Oh yeah, Linda. I think it was
Linda Johnson. Yeah. So Linda, her voice is more similar to Gwyneth Paltrow's, right? Which is where we're pulling all this like free information from. So if we had more
samples,
data, like of complete data, like our sample sets,
yes,
of varying voices,
yes,
then it would become even more intelligent. This is just a free one, right?
Exactly.
So I'm
so
sure
if I had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of Obama, which we do,
yeah.
The system now with that generator network and that other, what do we call it? The discriminator network. What was it? Yeah, discriminator.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those two can work it out way better because they've got a lot more data.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's okay. I have so many.
Doesn't it start to make your mind like melt a little bit? Like thinking about it, also just go down rabbit holes.
I think also it we used to, right? Like think, okay, people who are more measured, who seem to be like, more controlled, giving speeches or acting or whatever the case may be. Like that was something that we looked at and said, oh, like that's a goal, right? Like that's something like we have our politicians who are incredibly verbose, but they're very calm, collected, like going into the moment.
Yes.
That's easily taken advantage of by AI systems.
Apparently even more easily.
Even more easy, right? Because people who are more expressive, people who have more intonations, or, the algorithms have a hard time. Just that's where the art comes in, right?
That's right.
Like when we're talking about computers aren't artful. They are systematic.
Yes.
So if you are more like, this is what I'm going to talk about, this is my next point, this is how I'm going to, like, of course, that's going to be easier to replicate.
Exactly.
So I wonder what the future might look like, because maybe everyone's going to be more expressive because it's harder to copy. Yes. Yeah. Maybe maybe that's the future. Instead of having our politicians who are like very systematic, very
more animated.
Yeah, maybe they're going to become more animated because I don't know.
I don't either.
It's just so interesting. It might bring up a dilemma that these folks have. Like, I don't want to be easily replicated. And clearly they're looking for ways to change it. Governments are, right? Ways to combat that.
Yes.
In order to, stall off World War III or something,
Exactly. Oh my God.
It's
It's so scary.
It's so scary. Yeah. Cause you're talking about like nuclear bombs. Like that's something that you could very easily be saying. It's insane to me.
There are people today that say careless things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We don't even have to say names.
I've joked around and said something stupid just as a joke, but taken out of context.
Yes. Right. And now you can just people say it whenever.
Oh, absolutely.
Oof. So some of the tools and software used to create deepfakes. I'm just going to go through a few lists. I mean, this is just scratching the surface. There's something called Deep Face Lab. This is a popular software used for creating deepfakes. It's open source. It lets people swap faces, bodies, backgrounds, and videos, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah. The whole body.
Similar to Face Swap. That's what we used.
Yeah. For the Playboy?
For the Playboy. It was a Face Swap. Something called Fake App, another popular tool for deepfakes. Deep Dream.
Oh God, what's that?
It's I know you. This is like that's the one episode. And you're like, oh, it sounds like Dream with the fishes, and
yeah.
Like I hate the word dream.
There's a lot of connotations with the word dream.
That's a Google software that uses deep learning algorithms to create surreal images and videos. And I don't know if you all have recently saw that Google kind of opened the doors to, I can't remember. I think it was 60 Minutes, and you can tell it with words. Create me a flying pink taxi cab flying over New York, and it will do it.
Okay, so we've actually used an AI to generate images on our Instagram, and
there you go.
So
see how
for McDonald's, the McDonald's
you had
episode,
to do it.
I did.
You had to create an image for you.
So I
because
told
now
it
it's not copyrighted, right?
Right.
It's exactly what you wanted.
Yes. Well, I mean,
okay.
I would say that it actually, like, having used it, it probably isn't. So I think like the script or the prompt that I gave it was, and it's through Discord. Like there's this Discord that you can go on to, and you just say, like, you do like a specific script, and then you say, Ronald McDonald on a Monopoly board.
Gotcha.
Which is what I said.
Yes.
And it generated multiple images. So if you go onto our Instagram, you will see the image that was created, and it looks like all the writing was kind of in Russian, which is fucking weird, and I couldn't get the Russian out of it. I even said
probably for copyright reasons, right?
Could be, but like it didn't look like, you know, an esoteric language, or was it just
knew
images?
It was a Monopoly board.
You knew it was a Monopoly board. Yeah, because you had like the get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Like, or corner. Like,
yeah.
Or like Ronald McDonald with lots of money. Or Ronald, there was another one, Ronald McDonald with in an interrogation. And like and then you could have it do different versions of that.
Yes.
And you could say, hey, I like this version, because it gave you multiple versions. You say, I like this version. Kind of like riffed off of that
again, yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Into different, and it's insane how quickly it can generate.
Isn't
you can
amazing?
tell it to do anything. I wonder, like, what if, I mean, you and I, but like eventually it's going to get to the point where it could generate some images that are you and I, like flying on unicorns or whatever. Like, I would love that picture.
We could do it. I mean, we could literally do that today. We could just give it a picture of you and I and say, put us on some unicorns. I mean, we could do that.
We should have it do that.
We should do that for this episode.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah, okay. TensorFlow is open source machine learning. It's used to create deepfakes, provide a platform for building and training neural networks. That one's a little more complex. PyTorch is another one. Face Swap I talked about. Let's see, what was it? Avatarify is another one. It allows people to actually animate images and videos with these deep learning, so you can have more animated versions of things. So we're just kind of, in the grand scheme of things, right on the cutting edge. And so it's just, and the way technology moves in our world, it's the rapid pace of improvement is just
Well,
going
you were just saying the Obama one happened in
multiply.
2019.
Exactly.
And just looking at that, like while
how
we were
great that was 4 years ago. Oh, yeah.
now we're like, oh yeah, no, you can totally tell it's fake.
Totally.
That's fucking crazy.
So obviously there's ethical implications for creating
Sure.
deepfakes, right? Deepfakes can be used to deceive people by creating false or misleading content that appears to be real. And this can be harmful to people that make decisions based on false information.
Sure.
Or the deepfakes used to defame or harm an individual. They can be used for deception and spread misinformation, which can be especially harmful if it's used to influence public opinion or manipulate the outcome of an election, for example.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deepfakes can be used to violate an individual's privacy by creating fake images or videos of them without their consent. Basically, you're impersonating a person. Mm-hmm. That can be damaging if the fake, especially if it's sexually explicit or defamatory.
Oh my God, yeah.
And people love to blame without facts or proof, and it's like guilty until proven innocent. So
Yeah. People come out with their pitchforks and they're like, "Oh, you did
yes.
this," and they're like, "No, actually,
really,
I didn't." And then you have to try to prove yourself. Like, I didn't pose for, Playboy in the 1980s.
Like, yes, I'm looking
was,
at the picture right there. Yes, you did.
I was born in 87. Like, I was a fetus. They're like, how do we know?
Yeah.
And there's like no truth. Then you can't have like there are no reliable sources.
No, right.
Primary sources.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking scary, dude.
Having a fake image, audio file, or video of someone doing something illegal,
Oh my God, yeah.
unscrupulous, dangerous, morally unacceptable, that can never be undone.
Right.
And then lastly, deepfakes can have legal implications as they can be used to create fake evidence or incriminate someone falsely.
Oh my God, that's true. That's true. I didn't think of it in a...
Right, because you're not crazy.
Right, yeah. There are plenty of smart and crazy people.
Yes.
That's okay. You should be that. Do your thing. No, I'm not your enemy.
Exactly. I love you.
Yeah, peace.
So clearly lots of ethical concerns, and so we really do need to start thinking through the technology. But it's a very slippery slope because, it's important. It's clearly it's going to be important to develop policies and regulations that can mitigate the risks associated to the deepfakes, but we have to ensure we are promoting innovation and creativeness in the field without censorship and violating the First frickin' Amendment.
Right. There's, in order to be creative, you kind of have to allow yourself to not have as many boundaries, right?
Right.
So where is that line?
That's where my brain starts to melt because I'm like, where is that line?
I think traditionally it's been ethically, like, right? Okay, doctors, things like that. Doctors and nurses, they take a vow of like, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
they're not going to harm anyone. They're going to try to help people.
Yeah, I can't remember there's a word for it.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah, I know people are shouting in your radio right now.
Yeah, totally. They're like, hey, how can you not fucking know this? Nah. But it's like, you don't know. Like, they take this vow, like an ethical vow, to say that they're not going to do harm to someone, that they're going to try to help in any way possible.
Yes.
No matter what, right? They're not going to use their powers for bad. They're going to use it for good. So what if there's some kind of like ethical vow that we take? Because you can't, one thing that we've learned, at least, both of us have learned on this podcast, is that you can't fucking control people.
Right.
You can't control them, but, having some kind of moral dilemma or ethical, agreement, vow then perhaps that's a way to kind of satiate these things. But
it sounds like a good idea, but as you just said, you can't control people.
And you certainly can't fucking control technology.
No.
You can't control these. At least you and I can sit here and say, okay, we're going to take this vow.
Yeah, totally.
Right? Or someone can say, yeah, I'm going to take the vow or whatever.
Right.
But like they don't have to. What about fucking programs that have been programmed to do whatever? And like you can't tell the program or the algorithm to be ethical. It does not know what ethics are. That's
right. And that's what they've done. A lot of these companies have already had to do. They've already learned their lessons, like Open API. They've had, or Open AI, I think it's Open AI. They've had to put blocks on it because people have created some crazy effing shit.
Oh God, yeah.
And so they've had to kind of put some blockers
like
in there because
paywall or something.
Yeah,
or like,
some sort of a thing that helps the AI go, no, that's like morally not right, or
I can't do that.
That's a little much.
Like censored,
it's giving it a little bit of censorship. Honestly, yeah.
Yes.
See, that's the slippery slope.
That's exactly what you were talking about. Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think?
God, I don't know. That's why I said that's where my mind starts to melt when I start thinking about this. Because like I just said, I think there's got to be some boundaries, but don't want to step on people's liberties.
Yeah. How do you create boundaries that are flexible?
Right. So, there are some positive outcomes with this technology. It's entertainment.
Sure.
It can be used to create new forms of entertainment, videos that combine faces, different actors or singers. It can be a fun way to explore new forms of media or storytelling.
Yeah.
Education, create educational content that might otherwise be difficult to produce. Making learning more interactive. Accessibility, giving people more access to content. Such as videos with sign language, for example. You could have the system build that for you.
Yeah.
Research, used to simulate scenarios that might not otherwise be able to develop, but you can do that synthetically. Special effects.
Yeah, special effects.
In the movie industry. So lots of good can come from it.
Sure.
Just going to have to find a balance of this kind of the skepticism and regulation with the creativity and the growth, and we're gonna have to figure out that balance. I don't know what that's gonna be. So how do they detect deepfakes? So there's a few ways. There's visual inspection. You and I witnessed that. Metadata analysis. You can kind of get the metadata of the thing to kind of better understand how it was created.
Right.
There's this thing called error level analysis. It involves analyzing an error level of an image or a video that helps to identify if it's been manipulated.
Ooh, okay.
It's interesting. Face recognition technology, that you can use that. Audio analysis, of course, making sure things kind of match, because as we heard, sometimes they're a little tinny.
Yes,
like
very
that.
tinny, yeah.
There's machine learning models that actually are being built to detect the things that the machine learning is building.
Right.
Right.
Thank God.
There's cryptographic techniques like digital signatures and watermarks that can be used.
I was gonna ask about that. I would assume that
might be a thing we do in the future. Like if you're going to publish something, got to watermark it.
Or like those, what are QR codes or something?
Yes.
Like you have a different QR code. I was thinking about that, like in like a video, like, hey, this is actually us. Here's our
we know it's
QR
legit.
code for this week.
Yeah.
Or for this, whatever.
Exactly.
But then you're probably generating that through AI anyway. So
that's why I think you probably have to do it kind of in the back end, right? Where you don't really see it until you've analyzed the video, and then oh yeah, there's this back end watermark that I can tell or whatever.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So there's clearly no single method for detecting. It's gonna have to evolve. There's gonna have to be many different ways depending on what it is. It's extensive. So the spread of deepfakes obviously is complex. Multifaceted approach involving technology and policy, I think.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So developing better detection technology, I think is going to be important. I'm sure that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Promoting media literacy, like educating the public about the existence of it.
That's fucking huge.
That's a big one.
That is really huge. We still have that problem, right? With like deep fakes, like during the last, or what was it? the 2020 election.
Oh yeah,
No.
sure.
There was like a lot of deep fakes. People were like, oh
Exactly.
no, Trump is definitely saying this. You're like, no. No, Trump definitely has a 6-pack.
No.
Definitely no. Definitely no.
That's a big fat no.
Have you seen some of those pictures?
Yes. I mean, there's some that are so preposterous.
I mean,
That
does
you-
it look orange? Is it superimposed? Like, do I love the drama and the fun? Yes.
The entertainment. But it's clear though.
No, but people
But the
can't
ones that
tell.
don't tell, that is the problem.
We used to be taught. This is okay. I'm just gonna
to
get
use
on my
common sense. Are you going to talk about common sense?
Can I get on my soapbox?
Sure.
Okay. So
We should have a little segment. This is Alesha's soapbox.
get your cocktail in hand, folks.
Wait, hold on. This is Alesha's soapbox.
I'm ready. So ultimately, I feel like oftentimes we used to, at least I was taught, like, okay, how can you tell what a source is? Like when I was in college, like we would go through like primary sources, things like that. Even in junior high, we weren't allowed to use Wikipedia ever, right? For articles, like for research, we couldn't use Wikipedia because it wasn't legit. Now it's like, oh my God, actually, it's really fucking legit. It's an encyclopedia. We used to actually have to go through encyclopedias, my friends.
Oh, yes.
But we knew what a primary source was.
Yes.
We knew where information was coming from and whether or not that information was sensationalized, whether or not there was someone trying to get us to think a specific way, whether or not we were being swayed.
Yep.
We understood where the conversation was coming from, right?
Yes.
So one thing that I thought was really interesting is like during the last elections, a lot of times people don't know whether or not things had actually been said by either candidate, right?
Yes.
Whether you're Democrat, Republican, like someone's like, oh, I want to kill babies. Like nobody wants to kill babies, but like maybe there are things that are pushed into that place where they're saying Obama wants to kill babies, and people are like, oh, of course, like we don't want to fucking kill babies, but people believe that that's the case, and they believe that these deep fake videos are reality instead of sitting down and saying,
Exactly.
he would never say that.
Right.
Like this is clearly
I just
someone's
want to believe it, or do I really need to fact check?
Yes. Do I need a fact check, or like what is someone trying
plausible?
to change
Exactly.
or sway my opinion?
It's this, my friend.
It's totally that. And I think that there is that has been lost. And
Here.
how I mean, I've seen it be lost like on people who are a lot older than me.
Yes,
And they
it's
believe
true.
these things. Like
Yes, it's
just
true.
common sense. Also, like people are trying to take advantage of you no matter what, right?
Right.
P.T. Barnum, he said,
Yes.
well,
Here's
he said a sucker's born every minute. If whether or not he did say that, whatever. But there are people who are trying to sway you in a specific direction
for a gain.
for some kind of game, whether it's
Yes.
monetary or whatever, or your vote. Like
Yes.
people are trying to take advantage of you.
Yes.
So how can I read into that? Like
Yes.
if it seems like it's too good to be true, or like this is the tale that I want to hear,
Yes.
it probably fucking is.
Yes.
So how do we create this media literacy? How do we create literacy for these folks?
I think that's what we have to figure out. And other things like strengthening content moderation. Again, I hate
Yes.
it's a slippery slope,
I
but don't want to
know.
get into censorship and all of that shit. But god damn it, like people can't use their brains.
Well, they said like in our last election or the election before, both of them, but the 2 elections before, like when it was, let's see, Trump and
Obama? Oh, Biden?
Biden. Was it Trump and Biden before that? The second.
No.
Who was Trump?
It was
God,
Obama.
Obama.
Yeah, and then it was Trump, and then it was Biden.
Okay. Well, yeah, presidents.
Yeah,
But like,
oh.
so when Trump was running, Hillary, duh. I've had a couple
Oh, when Trump was running with Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So for the
gotcha,
Hillary
gotcha.
Trump election,
I'm with you.
they were saying that Russia, they were having bots and things
sure.
come in.
Yes, and do all of the media posting.
Yes, they were trying to sway the American people.
Yes.
Which is fucking scary, right?
Yes.
Like, of course we don't want Russia or fucking China or whomever to to sway us.
Right.
But how do you create a media literacy or people who are...
How do you do it? How do you do it? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Clearly, like...
That's why we need the help.
Right, with moderation and things like that,
Yes,
where you have
technology,
moderators.
we need companies, big companies to help.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate to say it, we're going to need some governmental help. We need some oversight somehow at some level.
We need oversight in general, like, because a lot of people didn't grow up with technology, right? Like, they don't even know how to check email,
right?
Let alone look at a video, find a video on YouTube.
If they see a video, it's true. It's got to be real.
It has to be real. Yeah, because it was on my Facebook feed and Martha posted it. It's like,
exactly.
Martha is a fucking idiot.
Yep.
She just reposted something.
And by the way, you just friended Martha, who is a robot.
Right. Or people are falling in love with catfish and stuff that are not real people, right? Exactly. It's insane.
Exactly. So, I mean, overall, preventing the spread of deep fakes is gonna, like we said, it's gonna require a coordinated effort that involves technology and oversight and policy.
Yeah.
But I really think by working together and using common sense, we can ensure. I think we can help. I don't think it will ever not be a threat. I think we will have some deepfake problems.
Period. Yeah.
Period. But I think we can help mitigate it. So what do you think of that? Does it make your brain? Does this episode make your brain process a little bit?
Yeah, I think. Yes, it does. I like to believe.
Did you
in
ever?
the Star
sorry,
Trek
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I want to ask a question.
Where?
Okay, yeah. Talk about the Star Trek world, because the Star Trek world is amazing.
Yes.
And tell them why.
Well, it's the belief in humanity. It's the belief in individuals that, you know, it is an optimistic. Yes, it's incredibly optimistic. It's where you believe that people are good and humanity is worth saving. Humanoid, whatever. Like, life forms, life is important, and finding different life forms and being curious about the world only creates good. And there's so in the Star Trek universe, oftentimes you will have, like, my favorite is Star Trek Next Generation. And here we go. This is what this is from. And Star Trek Next Generation is a scientific vessel that goes just to explore where no one has ever gone before and to seek out new life and new civilization, to boldly go where no one has gone before. That's the whole spiel. And so they're just going out of curiosity and trying to figure things out. And there is no money. There is no monetary gain, right? Money is no longer, can you believe it? Like, everyone
Can you imagine how the world would change if money wasn't the driving force behind something? It's a different world.
It opens up the world to, it opens up humanity to be able to pursue what it is that you enjoy, and to be curious and seek out knowledge or create cool things, because you don't have to worry about how you're going to pay your bills or whatever. But I believe that in general, we want to do good. And that oftentimes the reason why people don't do good is because they have deeper seated issues and they're hurting on the inside.
Yes. Or they're trying to get money.
Yes, get money.
I mean, just be simplistic about it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so if that wasn't a thing, what's your motivation other than just being an evil person, right?
Yeah, there are some legitimately like evil people, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I believe that eventually we're gonna figure this out.
I hope so.
And it's going to come to, things always get worse before they get better.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
So we might just be at the crux or at the start of something getting worse, to where we have to change things pretty in a big bad way. And I think AI forces us. It can take care of some of those like remedial tasks that, we don't want to have to do. Like maybe data bullshit, typing in like 1, 2 in an Excel spreadsheet. Like maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you could have a AI do that. But But, and maybe people were created to do something greater and to have this curiosity. Maybe that's something that's really important about humanity.
And in Star Trek, their artificial intelligence are always very, very helpful.
They are, well, depending.
Oh, it's not these people. Hold on. Not these people.
The Borg. Yes. The Borg is where AI and humanity merge. And they...
if you're watching on video, we are showing a Borg sphere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They actually were cubes initially.
Yes.
That's the first thing we discovered was the cubes. Then they somehow evolved, or maybe it was a different quadrant, into spheres.
Yes.
Like, we're not talking like balls. We're talking planets.
Oh, yeah. It's like a planet. It's like a whole ass
huge.
planet.
Yeah.
And ultimately what they did is they took... the Borg would take humanity and like everyone was collected like in a hive mind, like AI. And so any it's a great thing, right? Like any kind of disease that you had would be cured. However, you also you weren't an individual.
You have a mind, your own mind.
Yeah. Everyone's mind is together and it's all one. And when everyone is one, no one's an individual.
That's right.
And they would assimilate. So you wouldn't, resistance is futile.
Exactly. Yep. So Alesha.
Yes.
Are you ready to have your mind
my God,
blown
fuck, dude.
right out of your skull?
I already feel like I have so many like moral dilemmas on this one. So my mind's in knots and like all over the place.
Spinning all over. Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, tell me.
Here it goes.
Okay.
Hang on to your seat. This entire episode was written by an AI.
Shut up.
I'm not even kidding you.
No. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
You had this episode written by an AI?
Uh-huh.
No.
Yes. I went to I went to OpenAI and I said, please write me a podcast about deep fakes. And it wrote this episode and I asked 4 more probing questions to get drilled down into stuff. So I had asked a total of 5 questions and I had this whole episode written in 10 minutes.
How many? 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
How many pages is it?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I can scroll a while, but.
So maybe like 5 or 6 pages.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know how long a 5 or 6
Oh my God.
podcast lasts me or takes me?
Long time.
It takes me probably...
Yeah, well, it's going to do over
6 hours.
days. Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple
6,
hours a day.
8 hours. Yeah.
I get it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Now listen. Clearly, I went and made the little audio clips, right?
You made the audio clips. You had to prompt it.
Yeah, I went to another AI and said, these are the things I want you to say, and so
Yes.
so I had to go do all of that. But I didn't. I mean, not much more than that.
You didn't have to tell. Like it told
wrote
you
all of this out for me. It put it all in bullet points. It created it in segments.
It even said like, "Can I see that?"
Yeah, so I formatted it a little bit, but yeah. So what it did here, I can actually show.
Yes.
Maybe can you see it? So it says like segment 1. You can see right here. It says segment 1. It says what are deep fakes, and then it started bulletizing it out, and then giving me notes, and then it would do another bullet, and then it would say type of deep fakes, and it would write it out. And then I would insert like my stuff, like the links to let's watch this little episode, right? And then we keep going down. And then there's a section, this was my little section about my little things, right? And then it was segment 2.
Oh my God.
And then little bullet point of segment 2. I mean, it did all, and then numbered it, everything. It did it all.
That's fucking crazy. That is insane to me.
Yeah.
A
computer wrote this episode.
I don't know if I'm going to sleep okay. Like, I really think I'm going to have some issues. Like, that's got me fucked up.
I told you your mind was going to be blown.
I was talking to Dave about this. And he's like, you could probably just like tell an AI to like
write your episode.
an episode. And I was like, no, you can totally tell the difference.
Well, but wait. So
I was like, you can totally tell the difference. Like, we're creative, like humans, and like all this shit. And here you come. I swear to God, we just had this conversation like within the past week.
Crazy.
And then you fucking
I fucking did it.
I mean, maybe I did. I wonder.
So I don't know. Like I don't think I could have done this on like the Texas killing fields. I don't think I could have gotten the detail that we got on like McDonald's. I don't think you could have got the detail you did on that CI paper.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you might have got the CI paper, but I don't know that you could get the background or like, yeah, I just don't.
Questions
like
that a human would ask.
This one was very in a box, right? It was very kind of like,
Systematic.
Blip, 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 blip. Where our other episodes have been just kind of more fluid. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't think it's there yet. Like, I don't think it could have written our other episodes.
Okay.
I don't. It's worth trying.
Yeah,
just go see what it would do. Like, go back to one of our episodes and say, write a podcast about, and then fill in the blank.
What does it do with all this information? Like I know
learns.
That it learns,
It'll
but like,
learn.
but like, I guess where does this podcast go?
You mean
The written, yeah.
Does it like store it? You mean?
Probably, it probably does, right? To pull.
Maybe, but part of me goes like, why? Like, why would it store it? Like,
I guess it wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't. Need
like
to.
what it probably learned was when I asked that, and then after it spit out a good chunk, I asked it. I said, "What software is used to create deepfakes?" And then remember it did that section. And then I said, "What are the ethical implications of deepfakes?" And then I said, "What are the methods of detecting deepfakes?" And then I said, "What technology can help control the spread of deepfakes?" And that was everything we just talked about.
So what's
and so what it probably learned is, well, these were the questions that he asked relative to that first question. So it understands like what content to put together, right? And so that it can help in the future create a better podcast.
Yeah, like because it starts out with that definition. What I think is so interesting is, yeah, it had all of these details, but you still had to prompt it to go into the flow of.
I did. I didn't just say write the podcast and it spit this out.
Right.
I had to do it in chunks.
Yeah, you had to kind of like say, okay, here's the flow of a conversation.
Yes.
Just like we were talking about with like the intonation or the cadence of a person's like voice or conversation, like the way that they would say something.
Yes.
It doesn't know it naturally. So you had to prompt that.
Yes. And my delivery changes everything.
For sure it does. Yeah, you could just be like, this is what it says.
Exactly. Yeah. Had I said some of the tools and software used to create deepfakes are Deepface Lab, Face App.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, that's so robotic.
Yeah. And it's not fun. It's not
fun.
interesting.
Right.
So they don't yet know exactly what we're looking for. But eventually, I mean.
Well, they're learning.
Yeah. They're learning. I don't know, 2025. Maybe it'll know everything. Maybe you won't even have to ask those questions.
I know.
Fuck.
It's weird.
I don't know what I think.
I don't either. Now I was having ethical problems, and that's exactly why I wanted. So I did this for two reasons. One, just to prove that it could be done.
Yeah.
But two, because we're doing this episode, I wanted to prove a point. Right? I wanted to go like. We just did, but ethically, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Morally, I didn't like it.
It feels
cheaty.
It feels cheaty.
Unauthentic.
Inauthentic. I feel like it feels like kind of dirty or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because we love to do this, and so we want to put effort into it.
Right.
I don't
and
want
you'll
something
listen,
to do it for me.
No, you'll listen to people like, doing a podcast and you're like, oh, I love like the banter they have and things like that. Like an AI is never going to be able to create that banter.
No.
I mean, not yet, but
no.
But I mean, the fact, like, you did it perfectly.
We're
That's
on the
exactly what you
edge.
should have done. We are on the fucking edge, and you so beautifully showed us that. Like that fucking, my mind is blown. I don't know what to think.
Right.
I don't know how to feel. I feel like I'm going to be thinking about this all night.
Good.
I will probably be thinking about this before I go to bed tonight. Like I feel.
Good. I
like
hope.
it's really
I hope
crazy.
so. I hope I gave people something to think about because I
Yeah.
think we need to think about.
We
it.
do need to think about it, and I think. Hey, if you guys have any like, any thoughts,
opinions or thoughts. Yeah.
we have on our website. You can go to the Bazaar AF, just spelled out thebazaaraf.com. You can leave us a voicemail. We can listen to it, or you can send us an email, info@thebazaaraf.com.
We're happy to put you on air too. Like we.
Yeah, we can. Well, we would play it and then talk about it.
Answer your questions on here and talk about it. Yeah, I'd love to hear people's thoughts on it.
Yeah, because this is a fucked up.
It's fucked up.
It's a fucked up one. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For bringing this moral dilemma that we should all be thinking about front and center.
Yeah. Good. It
was a good one.
Got you thinking. All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.